Now, King Charles III's state visit to France continues this Thursday. The monarch is due to address lawmakers from the lower and upper house of parliament at the Senate within the hour. Now, the speech is likely to reiterate calls for stronger ties between France and the United Kingdom. Charles and Queen Camilla will later on visit the working-class suburb of Saint-Denis to meet sports groups before visiting the Notre Dame Cathedral. We can now go across to France 24's Philip Turrell standing by outside the Senate. Philip, it seems the king has brought the rainy weather with him here to Paris. Talk us through what happened at Versailles last night, that state banquet. Who was there and who wasn't there?
Right, well, you're right about the weather. After singing in the rain, it's now singing outside the Senate this morning, waiting for King Charles to arrive. He should be here in about 20 minutes or so from now to make that speech to both houses of the French Parliament, the Senate and the National Assembly, who will be reunited together to listen to what he has to say. And as far as last night is concerned, we were all outside the Chateau of Versailles looking through the railings, trying to spot the different personalities as they walked up to take part in that scrumptious dinner that was offered by French President Emmanuel Macron. There was Mick Jagger, who was about the only one who actually talked to us and waved and said hello. There was also Charlotte Gainsbourg, the daughter of Jane Birkin and Serge Gainsbourg. There was Carole Bouquet, the French actress. There was Hugh Grant, the British actor. A whole lot of personalities, including Jack Lang, the former French culture minister under François Mitterrand, and sports personalities, personalities from the world of showbiz, and of course personalities from the political world, all walking up to take part in that dinner. And this morning, a little bit earlier on, I was talking to the former British ambassador here in Paris, Lord Peter Ricketts, and I said, what was the banquet like last night? He said it was absolutely wonderful. We had lobster for starters, we had French chicken for the main dish, then we had cheeses from France, including a 3-year-old Comté from the Jura region, and to finish it all off, there were macarons with strawberries, followed by coffee, and the wine was absolutely wonderful. So a great occasion for everybody last night at the Chateau de Versailles in their surroundings, which were constructed for King Louis XIV.
You're making me hungry there, Philip. Let's talk about this speech which King Charles is due to deliver. Obviously, the speech comes after the United Kingdom has left the European Union.
That's true, and there are reasons to believe that this will be a fairly political speech. Last night, the King made a toast during the dinner at Versailles, where he talked about the war in Ukraine, about the differences between France and the European Union and the United Kingdom. There was no mention of Brexit word for word, but the King did pay homage to the relationship between Britain and France. He was particularly touched by the comments that were made by the French about his late mother, the fact that she was so fond of France, and that in homage to her there were many people sending messages, and also the Union Jack flag was hoisted above the Elysee Palace. So I think this is quite a memorable visit for the King here, his first to France as King of the United Kingdom. And of course it's symbolic, but it also has a knock-on effect on industry. It's always good for bilateral relations, and after his first state visit was to Germany earlier this year, there are reports of an increase in bilateral exchanges and economic exchanges as well. And I think that's what everybody here is hoping will be the result of this visit to France by King Charles III, which continues today here in Paris and which carries on tomorrow when the King and Queen Camilla travel to Bordeaux.
Philip, what's on the agenda for today? After the speech, of course.
So today, after the speech, after the speech here at the Senate, the King will then travel to Notre Dame Cathedral to see the renovation work going on there, because he has been one of the major supporters of the reconstruction of Notre Dame. Remember that the King has always been quite outspoken about architecture and buildings, so he's quite keen to go down there to see what is happening with his own eyes. Just before that, he will go for a walk through what is called the Marché aux Fleurs, the flower market, which is named after his late mother. It's now called the Queen Elizabeth II Flower Market on the Ile de la Cité, right in central Paris near Notre Dame. So there will be a walk through there, and then later in the day his wife, Queen Camilla, and Brigitte Macron will launch a new Franco-French literary prize, the first edition of which will be held next year, but it will be kicked off this afternoon by Queen Camilla and Brigitte Macron, the wife of French President Emmanuel Macron.